went a little overboard last year and loaded our Stern Stranger Things pinball machine with every upgrade kit we could find. And the crown jewel, it was a fancy apron. The part with the instruction cards, now upgraded with lights. 2 little bulbs, and what could possibly go wrong? Oh, only everything. First, the coin ejector coil locked up. We knew because it started smoking like it was auditioning for Backdraft. Replace that, easy enough, but why did that happen? Because the coil was run by node board 8, and guess what? Node board 8 was also fried. And that's the board our little harmless bulbs were connected to. Whoops. We thought about repairing it, but the internet consensus was basically, bro, don't bother. That board is dead to you now. So we replaced it with a new PCB that's green instead of blue. And honestly, who cares? It works. Then, the power distribution board decided it wanted to join in on the meltdown party. One component on it looked like it's gone camping on the surface of the sun. So that got replaced too, this time with an exact match, because apparently I do draw the line somewhere. And since we were already in too deep, we got cocky. We bought a ball trough lock. This little upgrade lets you hold all the balls in place, so you can actually lift the playfield without pinballs flying everywhere like shrapnel. Which is nice because it's less fun explaining to your family that a stray silver ball just cracked open your late dog Damien's urn. Installing it means taking off the apron. Yes, the same apron where 2 tiny bulbs once caused $300 worth of carnage several minutes ago. While it's off, we're swapping the bulb sockets too, this time with sockets that will not betray us. So, speaking of betrayal, this red electrical tape was supposed to stop our crappy bulb sockets from shorting out. And did it work? No. Moral of the story, never trust electrical tape when there's actual options available. Because electrical tape doesn't care about you. Electrical tape is that flaky friend who says, "Yeah, I'll totally help you move," and then vanishes the morning of. Now, the apron. It's held on by 4 screws. 2 Phillips head screws up top that are basically begging to be removed. Easy, no problem. But then 2 nuts at the bottom of the playfield that are so hard to get to you'd think they were guarding state secrets. And for reasons I cannot explain, I thought, you know what'll make this even more annoying? Taking them off from underneath. At this point, it's less about pinball repair and more about performance art. This new apron came with the Stranger Things UV kit. Our machine is the Pro model, which is basically the we cut corners, but you still get Demogorgon's version. But this apron, this is for the premium and the limited edition, folks. The fancy ones. Luckily, it still fits, so we're basically smuggling champagne into a root beer party. Before releasing the apron, we had to unhook the 2 UV power plugs on either side. We've already removed the cursed wiring that started this domino disaster, but first, we had to cut a few zip ties we added to make everything look tidy. Famous last words. This time we're replacing them with fluorescent yellow zip ties, so we'll know which ones were our bad ideas when we get back in here again. With the apron finally off, we can examine the naughty light bulb sockets. And these things, they're manufactured wrong. The ground power is only attached to the mounting bracket. So if you want your bulb to light up, you basically have to trick the socket into completing the circuit. Lame. And yes, they're still being sold on Amazon, which means someone out there, another person, is writing their own "I burned down Node Board 8" story. Meanwhile, I left a nasty review just to do my part in the fight against socket injustice. Our replacements came from arcadeshop.com because if you're gonna fix things, you go to the professionals. Swapping them only takes a few minutes, and we even got to reuse the one thing that wasn't cursed, our fancy custom harness. At least something came out of this chain reaction alive. Now that we've removed every cursed part and swapped them with good functioning ones, it's time to put everything back together without forgetting the brand new ball trough lock, which now rides shotgun on the apron like it owns the place. We thread our UV wires and the custom harness back where they belong because nothing ruins a victory lap faster than firing up a pinball machine only to realize you forgot to plug in the lights. Reassembly is easy. You just reverse everything you did before, except instead of cutting zip ties, we're adding them back in. And yes, last time I went overboard, but listen, I own thousands of zip ties. Why? Because apparently every time there's a zip tie sale, I black out and I wake up with another crate. At this point, if the world ends, the survivors can rebuild civilization entirely out of my zip tie surplus. I always start with the top of the apron first. It's just easier before moving down to the nuts at the bottom. Does it really matter what order? Probably not. Once it's screwed down and plugged in, the thing isn't going anywhere. Then we double check that the ball trough lock works. It's got these fun little ridges on the back so you can lock it in the open or closed position. Will I immediately forget this exists the next time I lift the playfield and send pinballs flying across the room? Oh yes, certainly. Finally, we solder in our custom harness. It gets its power from one of the general illumination bulbs. Pinball nerds call these GI bulbs because why not abbreviate everything? When the game kills the GI bulbs, we want our fancy little apron lights to die in solidarity. That's teamwork. I busted out the solder flux pen to get the wiring to behave, then wrapped the legs with white electrical tape. And yes, we've learned our lesson. Never trust electrical tape unless you're trying to make something look nicer. We're at the finish line of our Stranger Things pinball odyssey. It's time to lower the playfield, dust off the glass we stashed somewhere, and latch it back into place. Let's take inventory. Today we replaced a coil, a node board, a power board, 2 absolutely garbage bayonet light sockets, and installed the world's most glamorous ball trough lock. That's a day's work. And hey, say ball trough lock 3 times really fast. Go ahead. Sounds like a medieval curse, right? Hear ye, the ball trough lock has been summoned. Of course, this is the moment where I remember I forgot the actual balls. Brilliant. So I unlatch the glass, pull it back just enough, and drop in 6 pinballs one by one while whispering, please let this be the last time I ever have to do this. Now, the moment of truth, powering it all up. Will it blow up? Will it work? It's Vegas odds at this point, but hey, good news. Nothing caught fire, the apron lights are shining, and that ball trough lock is silently doing its job while nobody notices or cares. That's victory in pinball world. So, if you enjoyed this video, please drop us a like. If you want to see more of this madness, hit subscribe. And if you really, really like us, like Sally Field at the Oscars level liking us, click that notification bell so you'll know the instant we do this to another machine. Cue lights, cue music, fade to black, done. Hello? Oh man, I shouldn't have turned on everything. Okay, what did this happen before? Oh, I went outside. That's right, circuit breaker right now. How do these work? I don't remember exactly. Hey, sorry guys, I don't, no, is it this way? No, turn it this way, and then this way. Yeah, all right.